This video is a reply to an alleged ex-Marine or Army guy who runs a YouTube channel named Forgotten History. And initially, I loved his channel, but I kept detecting deception, bias, manipulation, and hypocrisy. For example, and you'll get this with a lot of YouTubers, it's the grift. They will throw in emotionally activating words or neurologically activating word selection deliberately to provoke a response involuntarily to get more views, more clicks, more likes, a broader reach. It doesn't work on me. Just like the weaponized censorship doesn't work to shape my behavior, which is why my reply to this person got deleted by YouTube because it's controlled by a vile group of people who raped a bunch of kids on this Epstein Island in the Caribbean and stuff like that. Yet those are the people that are dictating morality. Just let that sink in for a second, right? But the Forgotten History guy, he posted a video about eugenics where he said that Margaret Sanger was an evil, naughty, bad person, and so is Ruth Bader Ginsburg because they support abortion, especially for blacks and low IQ whites and Jews. And it had the opposite effect on me. Now, he does more of the grift. He added emotionally manipulative music, right? Like Schindler's List with the violin. Oh, the blacks and the Jews. And just really, really transparent idiocy as well. For example, after claiming that Margaret Sanger is racist and hates the blacks, he then quoted her, but he added the words "the human race." So, if she was a racist, why would she believe our species is a single race? Oh, because you're lying, right, Mr. YouTube retard? Oh, he called out my lies. Shut him down. Edit, delete, censor. Right? That's what's going to happen. I'll fucking post it anyway, though, because fuck you. But this didn't make any sense to me because he was a military man. Right? So, can we just guess how many people the American military has killed, both directly and indirectly? And I want to be clear what I mean by indirectly, right? So I can't remember if he's a Marine or an Army guy, but he's part of the industrial military complex that invaded Afghanistan under the premise that bin Laden did 9/11, even though he assassinated bin Laden in Pakistan, which is not in Afghanistan. They're separate countries. And then he stayed in Afghanistan for 20 years after assassinating bin Laden in Pakistan. There was a lot of opiates that were extracted from Afghanistan. And here's the real history that this homofied, probably Christian conservative, if his grift is real. Excuse me, one sec. Sorry, just had a new roommate move in. A black guy. I'm going to help hook up his TV. Anyway, um, so there was a Jew named David Sassoon who was behind the opiate wars, where the British Marines and the British Navy transported opium that David Sassoon grew from Afghanistan to Cambodia, what's known as the Golden Triangle, because it is the perfect climate for growing poppies, and because he had more wealth and power than the King of England as a banker, a Jewish banker, a Sephardic Jew from India, the Rothschilds of the East, I believe they called him. He controlled the English government because he had more money than the king. And so it's like a repeat with the Sackler family, who owns Purdue Pharmaceuticals and the OxyContin patent. And the OxyContin patent alone has reduced the American population of at least 200,000 people through opiate overdose deaths alone. And then there's cannabis legalization, the gateway drug effect, suicides, homicides, vehicular fatalities. Pornography is actually eugenics by differential fertility, right? Social engineering and increase in the LGBTQ rate is socially engineering a decline in the birth rate. So you have two different types of eugenics: differential mortality and differential fertility caused by drugs and pornography. Somehow, this right-wing Christian conservative Marine Army guy or whatever, oh, all those things are kosher, of course. Of course. But he's calling me evil for finding Margaret Sanger's abortion kosher, right? Oh, all the other things, right? Like the babies don't matter after they're born. It's only when they're in the womb and or if they're black. Okay. So just so you can see my face and know that I'm not a bot or a fake account, you have no moral high ground, sir. You could not be more full of shit. You're a fucking hypocrite. All right? Is that clear? Oh, Margaret Sanger, abortion of the black babies. Buh. But all those other things are okay, right? The fucking OxyContin patent from Purdue Pharmaceuticals, the opiate crisis. I actually do something you don't seem to do. It's called reading books. Oh, I got a book. I got a couple of good ones here, but this one is called Jewish Eugenics by John Glad. And it discusses a lot of Jews who were eugenicists. And eugenics is not how you defined it, it's the science of genetics. The science of genetics as a field came from eugenics. For example, Jews, because of the law of Moses, the halakha, the mitzvot, and the Tanakh and the Torah, it states to not intermarry with non-Jews. So they have high rates of inbreeding, which creates statistically differential rates of hereditary diseases. You can see this in a lot of Hasidic communities in New York with special needs Hasids and things like that. But it's not just neurological diseases like schizophrenia. It's like Tay-Sachs and Cushing's and all those diseases. So the state of Israel, since at least 2016, which has like the best geneticists on the planet, some of the best genetic scientists on the planet, excuse me, live in Israel and are Israeli. And they will absolutely confirm and validate all the science that is in this book. And so now they passed this law that rabbis, before they officiate a wedding, they have to conduct an investigation into the family history and medical history of the two people they're marrying to make sure they're not related, like cousins. And this has been effective. They've actually lowered the rates of these hereditary diseases. For some reason, Mr. Oy vey right-wing Christian conservative, oh, well, I guess that's okay, because what is it abortion because they're not having the babies, right? Is oral and anal sex and condoms okay? Because that's non-reproductive sex. Does that count as an abortion? Every sperm that didn't impregnate an embryo, that didn't fertilize an embryo, is a soul that is lost. You see how retarded you are? I'm gonna go out this black guy hook up his TV.